Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome to Linda's TV show, the home of news. Here we react to all forms of news. Anything that is happening in the globe, we'll bring it to you here. If you like what you are seeing, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell. This is very, very important to enable you to know when we upload a new video or YouTube suggesting our videos to you. Now, in this video, I want to put a disclaimer that I do not promote misleading information in this platform. We do not promote violence. I hate those things. We are here to inform, educate the members of the public about what is happening in the world.
I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I was listening to the reading of the judgment that a justice or a judge was passing at Abuja on the Nnamdi Kanu case. I was very, very disappointed, not in the legal technicalities. I'm not a lawyer, but that a judge was reading a judgment. My primary 3 students will read a text better than that judge. If you follow the transcripts, there's a word there, stooge, S-T-O-O-G-E. He pronounced it stooge. I don't know if my ears have a problem. A judge cannot pronounce stooge. And then in the sentencing, he kept saying without no option of fine. Without, then no option of fine. I called my lawyer. Is this how you people do it in the legal profession? Without no option of fine. I'm greatly disappointed that somebody can rise to that level in the Nigerian judicial system and can't read a judgment as if, I'm not sure it was the one that wrote that judgment. It was as if it was written for him. If I write something, I don't need to be talking as if I have a potato in my mouth. Can you imagine Justice Oputa delivering judgment and then he will read that judgment like that? No. Even a primary school teacher from Igbo Elerin, primary 1 teacher from Igbo Elerin will not read like that without no option of fine. But there are some other questions we must ask. A lot of the judgment was based on what Nnamdi Kanu'S said. There's hardly any statement in what I heard that he did this. Gumi has said worse of things. Gumi has gotten in contact with terrorists and has come back to speak on their behalf and has made statements that are treasonable. Nobody has done anything to him. Somebody who was a terrorist, part of ISWAP, Islamic State West African Province, that recently brutally executed Brigadier General Musa Uba in captivity. The rules of war does not allow you to execute captives, people who you have captured. A member of that evil group was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment. But Nnamdi Kanu, that has not carried gun once, has not been seen with AK-47, has not unleashed terror personally, was sentenced to life imprisonment. Better.
Oh. I didn't realize that I've gone live already. Good evening, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom and truth, lovers of justice. I think the time now is 17 minutes past 8. It's been a long day for all of us. It's been a very, very long day. Annoying long day, not unexpected day, but a day that we knew that would come sometime, at some point. I just had to wait for Nabi Kim to go back into the house because I haven't told him what happened. He's asked me about the court and I said it's the usual nonsense going on. And he said, okay, sorry, I'm just getting a call on. I have been on call since last night. I have not slept, considering that I'm still recovering. I have not slept, not one bit, and I have been on calls and meetings, and some people were calling me that they were on high blood pressure and things, and I thought to myself, what do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do? We have seen what transpired today in the court between Nnamdi Kanu and the kakistocratic. I have always called Nigerian government kakistocratic government of Nigeria. What happened today is not something unprecedented. It is something that we know that this is what they want to do, even though some people don't realize that, but this is something that has been planned, prepared a long time ago. Although at some point we would have averted or evaded this type of behavior in the past, but notwithstanding, God alone understands why it has to come this way or go this way. Mind you, this is not about some political misunderstanding or misconception happening anywhere. This is about Biafra. So if we understand what Biafra is and understand what it entails and understand the people behind Biafra, the hands, the unseen hands and the seen hands, then we will understand what this whole thing is about. Also, if we understand who we are as the Igbo people, Igbo, there is something about us that the enemy does not want to board. We are very special. I keep saying that. And at some point, God, in his infinite mercy, would make us known as he has purposed us to be. So I need to be fast so I can go back in. I'm in the car trying to make this quick video before going back in, because Nnamdi Kanu will come out now. I don't want him to hear me. In Nigeria, a judge cannot ask a defendant to open a defense on terrorism related charges without reading out the written law under which the court is trying that person. Okay, so the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, section 36. I mean, I'm sure that is very familiar to everyone now. It provides that a person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is defined and the penalty prescribed as in a written law. So what Omotosho has done today is a written script for him to read out. Everyone could hear him, everyone could see that he was reading a script handed over to him, and that he could barely read out some of the words in his own very written judgment. How interesting. How interesting. I've had to quickly tweet and post the travesty of justice today regarding how Omotosho ignored the Constitution's requirement that no one can be convicted under an unwritten or unknown offense. he forced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to take a plea under a repealed law, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu refused. So show me where it is written before I can enter into a defense. And that never happened. Omotosho refused blatantly, flagrantly, to issue written rulings on serious applications. So you could hear him reading, you could hear him counting thousands of lines of hours of account. But then he refused to issue a written ruling, which he ought to have done first, but never did. He told Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to put all objections in a final address, then blocked the final address. So if you were Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will be as outraged as Mazi was this afternoon. You cannot ask me to put my final address, put it down, write it down, and then you block it. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has right, is his right, to put a final address down, to write it down. But Omotosho blocked that and decided to read out those nonsense he called count. And he refused to, first of all, decide whether he even had the power to try the case. We kept talking about jurisdiction. I have always talked about jurisdiction. Nigeria government has no right to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He who comes to law must come with equity, or he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, rather, excuse me. So it's also in the spirit. If I'm going somewhere to lay a complaint about someone, I ought not to have done something, rather lay a complaint first. So Nigerian government decided to take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, They kidnapped him, tortured him. After 8 days, they brought him to Nigeria, and then decided to try him under a repealed law, which we have refused. So a few gaps there where we should have stood on our discharge and acquitted and stood by it. Regardless, that would be revisited, and we are going to appeal. Of course, we are not going to sit down and fold our arms for Nigerian government to deliver something that they have planned, a verdict that they have written years before now. We won this case. They were not happy about it. They went to Supreme Court, even though the Supreme Court messed around with the whole judgment. But they did say to them, you are trialing him on a wrong law. Change it. Nigeria never changed it. Where is the treasonable felony gone? Where is the location of the crime? Where is the location of the crime? Did Omotosho mention it? No. One of the reasons I came on live is to point at just one single point, or one single loophole. Omotosho cannot give a verdict on an evidence that was not inclusive in the previous, or the evidence tendered in court. Everyone keeps shouting, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, burn down this, kill the policemen. What were the policemen doing? Policemen were shooting protesters who were unarmed. But that aside, did any person come to court? Was there a witness in court who came in to say, I committed this crime? Or was there a person that the police or the DSS or the Nigerian government brought into the court and said, this person committed this crime because Nnamdi Kanu incited them? None whatsoever. So in Omotosho's verdict, he was counting everything, and he counted about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanting the British embassy to be burnt down and Katrina Lang murdered. How on earth? How is that? So you see, when I say that the Nigerian government and all their nonsense is of aristocratic nature, it is not a joke. It is not a joke. So with all the maxed people in the court who kept saying, I'm unaware, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, this is where Nigerian government wants to go. This is where they want to go to. Oh, life imprisonment. He would have mentioned death sentence then. Why didn't he mention it? He should have said death sentence. The thing is, we're not here to make any noise, but to continue to tell our people that this is an orchestrated pattern. We know the hands behind this. The British government being brought into this very case in order to say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu is international, take this point, international terrorist. They are stupid. You know, this is the kind of person who would be in an examination hall. They would give him copied whatever, and he would copy both the person, his matriculation number, and the person who gave him a note to copy from. He would copy everything. So even though you can see that Omotosho was reading a script handed over to him just this morning or last night, he was just coming to court to read it out, not to analyze anything, not to actually pass judgment. It is right there before. They think Trump is not intelligent. Is that what they think? They think the American government is as aristocratic as they are? No. For them to rise and say that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, it means that they have done their work. They have all the evidence. So these scripts, when someone gives you a script to read, you have to act the part. These people are so aristocratic, they cannot even act a script. Omotosho could barely read out the verdict. He didn't know the words. They were handed over to him, and he was reading something that was never ever mentioned in the court. You cannot pass a judgment based on excluded evidence. You cannot just by yourself put in something that you feel you need to add to pass judgment on an innocent man. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. There are terrorists running around in Omotosho's village. Is it Eruka? They recently attacked location by ISWAP. We have one of our brothers who was just murdered 2 days ago by the same ISWAP. How many of them have they convicted? None whatsoever. None. But it is Nnamdi Kanu. This is right before his eyes. They're running around. You can't. When he said to you, you cannot. You cannot. Because you have no evidence of, no shred, or no proof, no shred at all. Excuse me. I'm just too tired. There's no shred of evidence, no shred of proof. So this is a written script. They have interpreted it the way they have chosen, but we will fight it. I got Hinshia, I got the dog, I got Hinshia. Hama, they don't know what they are in for. They are angry that Nnamdi Kanu is courageous. You can see that bit they keep talking about this. You cannot convict a man who is innocent. You have no proof whatsoever. So this script they are tagging, you're using somebody who has killed Igbo people. You're using, all of a sudden you're raising his face that he's a pro-Biafran. That boy in Finland is not a pro-Biafran activist or anything. So these are all propagandas. I want our people to understand how the government operates, how they work. And there are some certain information that we will not be able to release out here in the public. But no, begin to reason deeper than you do to be able to understand how governments operate. There's something I wrote in the past. There is narcissism in the world, but then there's also narcissism in the government. How they operate, especially the Nigerian government, where they have a problem with influence. You can imagine a foreign minister right there in front of the whole world saying that he does not have enough, or didn't have enough data of number of Christians killed in Nigeria. And the point is it about Christians being killed, or is it about Muslims being killed? What is the point? Or is it about the human lives being wasted every single day in this country? Innocent lives, children who should be protected, guarded, and safeguarded with everything possible in life. They have no idea what to do with human lives. So terrorists are in their villages, burning down places, kidnapping people, killing people, and all of a sudden they want to tell it that, oh, this is IPOB who are now killing people. They should know that the world is more.
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.